All right, man. And we're live. No, we're not. This is pre-recorded. Welcome to another episode of Day One Mentality Podcast, where we talk about the number one thing that has the ability to make or break your dream, your mentality. My name is D. I'm a pilot. His name is Mo. He's a steady athlete, a fitness coach. This is episode 17. No money, no problem. Building relationships and how that can move you towards your dream. Yo, Mo, how's it going, man?
Not bad, thank you. Really good, really good. I uh I fixed my bicycle, so I have been riding the past week. So
Nice.
very cool,
What
very
bike you
cool.
got?
Just like a road bike. Uh I've been going to work, cycling, and back to the gym. So really good. And I did notice, bro, that in London, drivers and people and taxis, everyone hates cyclists.
Yep.
What the heck?
Yep. See, I ride a motorbike,
Yeah.
so I'm before I can notice their hatred, I've already gone.
Yeah.
Whereas on a bicycle, like you're still pedaling and then you're hearing them cussing and swearing.
It's
So
crazy.
yeah, on a motorbike, so I don't get to hear it or see it as much. Um, but yeah, no, people do actually really do hate cyclists in London,
Yeah,
especially. Yeah.
yeah. I have cycled in Spain, in Holland, in other places, but London is it can be really, really dangerous. Uh, which is kind of fun at the same time. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna
but
lie.
some cyclists are silly, like they run red lights, they don't stop, they just keep going,
Uh-huh.
and kind of put themselves in danger. And that's one of the things that actually annoys drivers, or they cycle right
Mm,
in the middle of the road and then slow down
mm,
traffic. It's like, why?
mm.
So, but yeah, it's
I
crazy,
can
man.
I can sense some hate over there, T. Hey,
Not from me,
bro.
man. Not from me. Not from me. I've been on two wheels for too long. I've been on two wheels for too long, man.
Okay.
But yeah, that's the thing. But I couldn't cycle to work, man. I'd be sweating too much. I'd need a
Mm.
shower by the time I got there. So yeah.
That
But it's
is
good
me.
if you
That is
if
me.
you can get the exercise in, that's good, man.
Hmm. How are you, T?
I'm good. I'm good. It's been a well, can barely remember the week now, but it's been a good week. It's been a good week.
Hmm.
Yesterday I went to a showing of Top Gun,
Ooh.
um, Maverick. So that was put on by Royal Aeronautical Society. And then basically
Nice.
there was a fighter pilot who then did a question answer session, which was really
Oh.
interesting. So it's yeah, quite nice to hear like people's questions and some of his stories. He's got a book out actually that I'm definitely going to listen to because it sounds like there's some adventure in there. I think the book is called like Harrier or something like that, something to do with
Cool.
Harrier. But yeah, so yeah, it was a very interesting evening. Um, I actually met.
What did you learn? Sorry,
What did I learn?
from the fighter pilots.
I don't think I've condensed it down yet, but it was
Mm,
just interesting to hear some of the experiences and just how real they are to him,
mm,
like he's talking about being at war and like fighting in the air kind of thing. It's yeah, it's something that we only see in movies, but to him it's clearly his life.
mm.
So yeah, that side of it was kind of very interesting. Um, but yeah, I got to meet Ayla on Abby for the first time. We've been friends quite a few years now. She comments on our videos sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm actually starting a new project with her as well, so watch this space. Um, but yeah, it was nice to actually meet because a lot of the people that I've met, like in aviation, I only knew them from Instagram, literally following
Mm.
each other for years, and we've just never met. So bit by bit, as time goes by, I'm actually starting to meet people, which is really, really nice. So yeah, no,
Cool.
but my week has been really good.
Nice. Sounds good. Let's proceed with dream workshop then.
All right. You want to go first? You want me to go first?
I would like you to go first, please. Please.
Are you sure?
Yes.
All right, cool. Just remember you chose it. You won't get a chance to to avenge yourself when
Mm,
I give you a hard time.
I won't need it.
Okay, okay. Say less.
So,
Alrighty. Mhm.
what's the dream that you're putting forward?
Okay, but what is Dream Workshop?
Dream workshop is an opportunity to present a goal that we have that we would like to achieve. Can be short term, can be long term, and we challenge each other to think further or like explain how you're gonna accomplish your goal. You can break it down, challenge, maybe give a different point of view, and hopefully by the end of the minute and a half, we gave each other more clarity and maybe helped a little bit. So, I mean, that said, what is the dream that you're putting forward?
Keeping on the same theme, let's go with the scholarships. Providing
Scholarships.
scholarships. Just saying, there's some questions, if you ask me, I might say I've got the answer to that, but I can't tell you. So
Interesting. Is that fair?
just so you know, no, because it's actually happening now, and I
Mm,
don't want to give away some of the things that's coming up. Okay.
okay.
So I may have to be a politician when it comes to certain questions. But I'll answer as much of it as I can. Or maybe I might have to answer about the future rather than the now. Yeah, because it's actually in motion.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Are you ready, Mr.
Yes,
D?
let's go.
Timer in yeah. So in what stage are you at now? What do you feel that is the stage that you are right now?
The stage right
Is it
now is making people aware of it
mhm,
and trying to gather interest. So I would say it's more, to some degree, it's kind of market research.
nice? You mentioned last week that you wanted to if you would have done something differently, you would have promote daily the scholarship more often.
Mhm.
Have you how is that been going?
Well, I'm developing a new marketing strategy.
Hmm.
I'm doing this 1 day course that I'm going to push myself to finish this week, which is a 1 day script writing course, which is to do with marketing, right? So I am writing something that I will be able to use to advertise it. I have posted it across probably, I think, all my social media platforms. Still more pushing to be done, and the new strategy that I'm bringing is going to push it some more.
What would be the perfect outcome from this? Yeah.
I think a good outcome conservatively would be maybe 20 to 30 people interested and signing up. So what people are having to do is they're having to sign up with their email and just a little bit of information so that they can receive the latest information on the scholarships. Um, which, yeah, it'll be good to have 20 to 30 people actually register their interest so that when the
Mhm,
applications actually go live, they will be informed and then hopefully they will apply along with more people, with other people.
mhm. Nice. Nice one.
Thank you.
Nice one.
Alrighty. Switching it around. 1 minute 30. What's the goal that you're going to put forward for Dreams Workshops this week?
Active activities.
Okay. What
Thir-
specifically?
30 children attending an activities camp during the summer.
Okay. 1 minute 30 seconds on the clock. Your time
Yeah.
starts now. So, what new plans do you have for getting out there since last time?
Yeah, I would. One of my plans since last time is to meet head teachers of different school of the area, present myself and present the idea so that they could allow me to promote it in their schools.
Okay. And how many of them have you contacted so far?
So far, zero.
Okay.
Mhm,
And how are you going to make the most of the Olympics that are coming up?
mhm. Um, I, this is infinity, but I feel like the Olympics is something coming up that is really interesting. But I wanted to divide the Olympics and football at the same time.
There is football at the
Since
Olympics.
yeah, correct.
So divide
Um,
football into Olympics. What do you mean by that?
so in terms of like um the marketing of the Olympics and football, it will be like a 50% focus on the Olympics and 50% focus on the on football.
Okay. Okay. Good. Feedback time.
Hmm.
Any feedback? Any thoughts on that? Dreams workshops? Anything you want to add?
Um, Not much, but it does make me realize I need to take more action.
Mhm.
That's the only thing.
That's everyone's challenge, but yeah, absolutely. And again, for everyone watching this, this is a chance to develop your dream, to develop your goal, to move towards it. So today's episode is not live because uh, I'm having to attend Olympia Careers Fair. I'll be attending with the Honorable Company of Air Pilots. So we're out there spreading the good word about aviation and all the scholarships that we have and opportunities for aspiring pilots. So that's why we're not live, but we still read the comments. So drop it in the comments. Share some of your goals, share some of your dreams, put it out there in the world so that you get a sense of accountability. So you get a sense that, okay, I've put it out there now. I need to act towards it. And that's one of the things that can really help to move us closer to achieving our dreams. Now, back to you, Mr. Mo. Um, One thing I've said before, third party reviews. Get your third party reviews going. So, um, as soon as you can, because when people search you, they will
Hmm.
search reviews. They're like, oh, what do other people think about it? When I'm buying something from Amazon, I always check
Hmm.
the reviews. If there's two similar ones, I check which one has the highest review. If it's got high reviews, but only two people bought it, versus slightly lower reviews, but 1,000 people bought it, I'm gonna go with the 1,000 one,
Yeah.
right? Because I'm
Yeah.
like, that's actually real. The two, they might just have their friends, like, or they might have created a fake account and just like bumped themselves up. Whereas with 1,000, it's less likely that
Hmm.
it's like doctored by themselves. Do you know what I mean? So third party reviews are very important, and Google is an easy one. Are you set up on Google?
Ooh, no.
Okay, you need to go to Google Business and be set up on Google so that when people search in their area activity for kids, your thing comes up. Now, this video is going live tomorrow, so I'll suggest you do it today before someone steals your idea. All right. Otherwise,
Hmm.
otherwise, who knows? Anyways, yeah. I would also say don't worry too much about the head teachers. You don't need the head teachers. Just go outside the school. You need the parents, not the head teachers. But in terms of going into the school, if you want to do demonstrations in the school to build a relationship with the kids, yes. But if you want to market your after school thing, you don't need the head teachers. You need the parents. I
Mhm,
say that because I know, having worked in schools and still working with schools for a long time, I know how slow that process can be to get the head
mm,
teacher's attention. And
mm.
so you shouldn't kind of slow yourself down too much. Anyways, I digress. That's for free
Um,
consultation.
the thing is, like, after the summer, one of my plans was to provide activities every single week in schools.
Okay, so you can
That's
separate
why.
the two, right?
Mhm,
So don't wait to get through to the head teachers to be able to market this summer's. Think of it as two separate things. Market this summer and then slowly try to get to the head teachers, because and you don't necessarily need to go through the head teachers. You can go through like the head of PE, or you can go through so whoever sets up the after school clubs. Um, but yeah, don't wait for the head teachers to launch your summer marketing strategy,
mhm.
is all I'm saying. But you can still do it at the same time, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And yeah, setting yourself up on Google is very important, because I asked you last time, where are your audience? Where are your clients? Where are your customers? Right? And yes, they are in the world, but they're also on Google.
Mhm.
So you got to kind of think in multi dimensions about where your audience is. Anyways, I digress.
No, very, very useful. Thank you. Thank you. I will definitely work on that.
Yeah, that's why we're here. But yeah, any thoughts, people? Chuck it in the comments, and we'll get to read and respond to your comments. If anyone's not noticed, I've got my my Sundown t-shirt from Isle of Wight.
Mhm.
Shout out to the Sundown crew.
Um, very useful. That really helped me, definitely. Any feedback, like you said, yeah, put in the comments. We all try, and we're not experts here, so please let us know as well. Having that done, accountability time, Mr. Future Pilot.
Mhm.
What is something you knew you should have been doing, but you haven't done during the week?
Uh,
I can see a smile over there.
that is
Mm,
hard to it's hard to say, because it's hard to say. Maybe the only thing I can pick is hesitating.
mm,
I think there's a little bit of hesitation I'm noticing, particularly at work. Um, my work at the moment involves a lot of information finding, a lot of contacting people, and I am an introvert. I don't necessarily find it very natural to kind of like contact lots of people and have lots of, like, I like one-on-one conversations, but contacting new people, like, it's like
mm,
so I would say probably just a little bit of hesitation. So, but then how much of that is a bad thing? Because sometimes, just taking a moment to stop and think about what you're about to do is a good thing. So I guess it's something I need to track and just see, is it working against me, or is it working for me? So, but yeah, I don't know. It's hard to splice. Um, yeah, yeah. What do you think? What do you make of that?
I do agree with sometimes it's okay to like pause and think about what you have to do. Um, and you can benefit a lot from it. Um, looking at it from a different point of view, if you like stop too much to think about things that you know you have to do, you're just gonna waste your time in order to make the decision that you know you have to do already. I'm not saying that that's what happened to you.
Sometimes it is.
Okay. Um, because it is it is okay to take your time, but in some occasions, you being effective and knowing what you have to do straight away, or knowing the solution straight away about something, um, makes a big difference, I think.
Yeah, it definitely affects efficiency. Um, yeah, well, I end up moving slower than what I could. So yeah, I'd say that's a good point to take forward and to see what happens next week when I kind of remind myself to just go for it. Just go
And
for
at
it.
the same time,
See what happens.
and at the same time, it's a start. So
Yeah.
it's
And
something
if I
new.
get if
Something
I
new.
get yeah, right, and if I get fired, well, I'll speak to you next week and we're gonna have words.
I never
I'm just saying.
listen. If you want, I can provide you for some jobs or a job.
Yeah, but look,
Cleaning
I've
cars.
listen. Over the in the last month, I've increased my salary is increased by 10,000 in a year. So
I see.
listen, I'm only
I
going
see.
upwards. So you
I
gotta
see. I see.
talk. You gotta
I
talk
see.
correct.
Okay.
You
Okay.
gotta
I'm
talk
sorry.
money.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
All right, bro.
The
Um,
Wolf of Wall Street.
uh, listen, I've got Bitcoin. Bitcoin is not doing great at the moment, but yeah, I need my Bitcoin to skyrocket so I can be a millionaire. Anyhow, moving on. Um, all right. Did you do accountability time? No. So what is it that you know you should have been doing that you haven't been doing?
Amazing question. One once again, I would say taking more action.
Hmm.
I said it before when like talking about activities,
Hmm.
but taking more action.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So what
Um,
actions?
in a way of like I we talked about this before, but I tend to think that I have enough time. And that most of the times is wrong. And the way I should see it is finish it as soon as possible. And if you finish early, then good for you. You can move on to the next level, pace, or whatever. And that is what I should do.
There you go. There
Hmm.
you go. And yeah, it's like a lot of people think like that as well in terms of timing. Um,
Hmm.
to be fair, your timing is pretty good in terms of punctuality, but that's the mindset that I know I've struggled with at times less now. But like if you've got it takes you an hour to get to work,
Hmm.
you think, okay, all right, I need to be at work by 9. So, okay, I'll leave at 8.
Hmm.
But then things are not straightforward, and then you end up getting there like 9 or 5, right? And for me, I noticed like just the thought of I'll get there 8:50 is like, ugh, get there
But
8:50. Why?
yeah.
Ugh. Do you see I don't know where it came from,
Hmm.
but somehow through life, that's just where I ended up,
Huh.
right? So I had to like, if I want to be on time, what I have to do is I have to plan to do something before. So I have to be like, okay, cool. I'm gonna get to work at 8:30 because I want to do ABC so that I can start by 9. And then I'll end up getting there at 8:50.
Mm.
Do you see what I'm saying? Like I have to find a way to fill that time. Anyways, it made me think of that because you know what you were saying, like you're kind of in a way delaying the start of your marketing strategy because you're like, I've got time, I can get there on time, as opposed to let me start now and finish it early.
Mm.
It's like, ugh, why? When I could just do it and finish on time, just in time for the first day of of the activities. So
Yeah.
yeah, um, there's no limit to your success, man. The earlier you start, the more successful you can be, and the more time you have to improve your strategy because so, there is a lot about your strategy that is wrong, and that's for anybody.
Mm.
When you start a new idea, there's a lot of assumptions that you made that are wrong. The more time you give yourself, the more time you have to realize all the things that all the assumptions that are wrong and you correct them, right?
Hmm.
Because, for example, you think I'll go to the head teachers and then I'll get in, but then you do that and you realize, wait, okay, I assumed the head teachers would want to talk to me. Okay, so I
Mm.
spent 3 weeks not being able to move forward because the head teachers don't want to talk to me. Okay, so I was wrong about my assumptions about the head teachers.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I need to correct that. By now you've lost 3 weeks, which if you
Mm.
started early, you would still have enough time to reroute.
Mm.
And that goes for anything, any plans you have in life, anything, any dream, any goal that you're doing. It's like the earlier you get going, the more time you give yourself to course correct. So don't wait until just the right time. Start before the right time. So you've got even more time for course corrections because there will be course corrections. No one is perfect. And
Mm.
our assumptions are usually wrong. You have a plan and then your plan meets real life, and then real life is like, no. And you're like, oh. So, anyways, life gems.
Definitely. So basically, that is what I'm gonna do from next week. Just take more action.
Yeah.
That's what I need
And
to do.
nice. And another thing I like doing is take the time between now and then, split it into phases. So okay, cool. By this time is this, by this time is that, by this time is that. So if you're running late or if you're early or how early you are. Anyhow, yeah, that's one thing I do like to do that I need to do as well for some of the projects I'm involved with. With
Hmm.
that said, let's move on to the main topic of the day. We want to talk about what? No money, no problem. Okay. Because one of the frequent conversations I have with people is, D, wow, you're a pilot. I'm so proud of you, man. Like I'm so proud of you. Like you've got there now. And there's obviously still more to go, but it's like you got there. I've always thought about it, but how much it costs kind of put me off. And yeah, it's easy to see it in aviation, but a lot of us kind of let our dreams die because of how much it costs. And one
Mm.
of the big messages I have for people is it's not about the money.
Mm.
Dream beyond your means. If you're not dreaming beyond your means, you're not dreaming. Dream beyond your means. And the amazing thing is, your means will catch up to your dreams,
Mm.
right? If you get some of these things right. For example, some of the things we've talked about in the last episodes is believing. Like if you don't believe, then no, it won't happen, but you have to believe. And then also telling your story, which, last week we kind of had internet issues. No shout out to the internet providers. Uh, yeah, so we didn't get to finish that. But where I wanted to go with that is just saying, like, what is your story? What's your story? Mr. Mo, what's your story? You in the chat, in the comments, what is your story?
Good question. What is my story? I never asked that to myself. So I will have to think about that. What is my story?
It's a good question.
Yeah.
So I think I've
And
told you this.
definitely
Yeah, go on.
I I've never heard this question. Like no one asked me this question. Um
That's
and
why you
now
came to the Day One Mentality podcast, because we ask you the questions that you've never been asked, and we ask you the questions that will change your life. This is Day One Mentality podcast. Let's go. Keep going, my brother.
yes. Yes. And it's really interesting because at the end of the day, I find it similar of like you truly don't know what someone has been through, right?
Hmm.
In a way of like we all have something to tell to someone else, and doesn't matter where we're from or how we look like. We might have an amazing story to tell to inspire someone else, and I would definitely think about what my story is. Yeah,
And your story can inspire other people.
yeah,
Absolutely. Primarily, your story communicates who you are,
hmm
you know? And whether you have a say in it or not, people are telling a story about you. And maybe your
mm,
story is memorable, maybe it's not, because you haven't shared it enough or properly, you know.
mm,
But if you think about a fundraiser, sometimes people don't really understand the power of stories, so they misunderstand how to do a fundraiser. When for a successful fundraiser, you tell a story. I, so and so, have this disability, but, or maybe there's no disability, but it's like, I'm going to climb this mountain. I'm going to challenge myself. I'm going to push myself to the limit. That's the story I'm creating. And what
mm,
I'd like you to do is to see the bravery in that, to see the courage in that, and to reward me with your funds, but not for me, but for these people who are out there and they have no homes and they have no this and they have no that and they wish they could get an education. They wish they could have running water. They wish they could have this, that, and the third, which they should have as humans. So I'm going to do
mm,
this. Will you please fund me so I can share, give that to them? It's a story you're telling, right? And your
mm,
story is part of how you raise money. So people think I need the money, but you haven't even thought about how you share your story, right? So that's one of the reasons why I decided to live in my car, because I was like, I want, like, one, I realized something that people who are comfortable have no reason to move.
mm.
If you're comfortable in that chair, Mo, are you going to go anywhere?
If I have everything I need, no, right?
Exactly. Now, if your chair was slightly off balance and you like every now and then you have to adjust every like you're gonna have to move, right? Because you're
hmm
uncomfortable, right? Or if there was
hmm
something you were sitting on, at some point the pain kind of no, this is too painful. Let me stand up, give myself a break.
mm,
So people who are comfortable have no reason to move forward, to move towards their dreams, to move towards their goals. But people who are uncomfortable have no choice but to move. Because I realized that, I put myself in a situation that was difficult because I knew that if I put myself in an uncomfortable position, I'm going to want to progress.
mm.
And that became a part of my story. And I told that story. And that allowed me to build relationships because you build relationships based on who you are, right? And that allowed me to build relationships. What do you make of that, Mr. Mo?
Um, yeah, in a way of obviously, if you're not able to challenge yourself mentally or physically, it's just difficult to to move on or to improve. So putting yourself in an uncomfortable position made you definitely stronger and not just able to tell an amazing story as what you have, but it was a in a way a win-win situation if you wanted to see it that way. It makes you mentally stronger, and at the same way you building the story that you want to tell. And that's in my belief something that comes after the question of what is your story. My story is this, but my comics, my future story is going to be this.
It's all part of the same story.
Yeah,
Because now
but
my future
mhm,
story is the scholarships. But then add that to that. Lived in his car, realized he was wasting time, wasting energy, and that his
mhm,
mindset wasn't right. He started
mm,
living in a car to make himself uncomfortable. He applied for the scholarships 4 times, failed, never got through the first stage, not even once. And then finally, he got through all the stages, got the scholarship, got his license. Less than a year after passing his skills test, the person who needed the scholarship a year before was now in a position where he was offering a scholarship, even though he can't afford it.
mhm. Beautiful.
You get to tell your story, and your
Mm,
story will impact people, and your story will help you build relationships. And the important thing, I keep on telling people like, money is not the only form of currency. Your faith, your belief is a form of currency because you can have all the money in the world, but if you don't believe, it will take you longer, it will cost you more, or
mm,
you might never even do it. But if you have the belief and not the money, you'll figure it out. So you need the belief. Secondly, I've been telling people that your story is a form of currency. Just like a story can help to raise money or to start
mhm,
a business or to advertise a business.
mm,
Sometimes you might watch an advert and be like, oh, wow, that's really good. Oh, wow, like I need to go and buy that phone. Why? Because they told
mhm,
a story that you now like and you buy into, right? And so you don't need the
mhm,
money. You need to tell your story. If you've got the money, great. But if you don't have the money, you have to be resourceful. So
mm,
tell your story in a way that, you know, I- I'm I want to be this. I want to be that, for example, there's a video of this guy. He wants to be, I think he wants to be like a professional basketball player. I might
mm,
be getting this wrong. But what he does is every day he films himself. It's like, okay, day one of working towards being an NBA player.
mm,
Next day, day two, day three, day 10, day 12, every day, just adding videos. Day 123 of working towards being a, but like, what story am I saying there? I'm saying that I'm passionate, I'm committed, no matter what. You're building a story, and there's always something you can do, you know? And then that story makes people think, oh, I need to connect with you. The amount of people that just messaged me based on my Instagram because I was
mm,
telling my story. They're like, oh, dude, if you come to America, I'll let you fly my planes. You just have to pay for fuel. You don't have to pay for the hiring rates.
mm.
That's the kind of
Amazing.
offers I was having, right?
Mm,
Oh, yeah, once you get your license, I'll let you hire my plane for cheaper. Why? Because you have a story that I buy into.
mm,
One guy, I told you about this last couple of episodes. Keno, I did his 1,000 hour flight, and he's a great guy, a flight instructor. He literally called me and was like, "Hey, this is how you save money on your journey. Like, make sure you do this test first, don't do that test, and don't leave a too long a gap before you do this other test because that's going to make you spend more money. So make sure you do this before that." And it's just like, dude, you've literally just saved me thousands of pounds just now, just in like
Mm,
what a 2 hour conversation that I'm not even paying you for.
mm,
You've just said saved me like thousands of pounds.
yeah.
How so did I need the money or did I need the relationship? But you can't build a relationship without a story. Either way, you have a
Definitely.
story. The question is, do you have you shaped your own story how you want it to be, you
Mm,
know? But yeah, like relationships can take you where money can't. So again, with people stuck, it's like, oh, I don't have enough money. It's like, stop thinking about what you don't have. What you do have is relationships. You've got a
mm,
relationship with people now, or you've got the ability to tell your story to build new relationships with new people who can give you access. Because it's not the money you need, it's the access you need, right?
mm. And and by building relationships, like what you did, for example, you got to someone that was able to save you thousands of pounds by just sharing his knowledge that probably for him was very basic, but for you was really valuable.
Not only was it like, well, it's basic now, but he had to pay to learn that.
Hmm.
And he just gave it to me.
Hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's he had to learn those lessons the hard way. And he's like,
Hmm.
"Oh, let me tell you so you don't take the wrong paths that I took or that I've seen other people take."
Yeah.
But again, you don't just offer that kind of information to anybody. You offer it to somebody who you know, like, no, like this person is passionate. This person is actually serious. This person wants to help other people. The
Mm,
story about them makes you affects the relationship that you have, right? Your story affects the kind of relationships you have and what people are willing to offer you or not, right? You know, who's your favorite
yeah.
football player?
Ooh. Uh, I don't know if you know him. It's D Limbaya.
Ah,
Why are you laughing, bro?
bro, your taste in football must be rubbish. Listen, listen, even I wouldn't pick me. I'd be the last player. You know, when they pick you, my team, you, that team, you, I'll be the last one I pick. Listen, in my head, I'm amazing though. But I've realized there's a bit of a difference between what's in my head and in reality. So, anyhow,
My favorite football player, all times or now?
let's say now.
Okay, all times. I said D Limbaya. Current player, I would say, Kevin De Bruyne.
Okay, Kevin De Bruyne. Okay, so Kevin De Bruyne, if he goes to, I don't know, a store, choose any store. What a fashion, it could be a fashion store, it could be any store.
Sainsbury's.
Okay. Do you think, put it this way, have you ever heard of celebrities going somewhere and just getting things for free?
Yeah,
Why? Why do they get it for free?
stealing. Uh, because they popular, I guess,
Uh-huh.
to promote their shop, to
Uh-huh.
make them happy,
Uh-huh.
comfortable.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Exactly. And there is a story. Kevin De Bruyne is not just a person, it's a story,
Mm,
right? And people talk about Kevin De Bruyne, right? People tell that story. People share who he is, what he's doing. And so
mm,
you get to a point where you realize that if you can build your story, you won't need money as much
mm.
because it comes down to what story have you built, right?
Yeah.
And what relationships do you have? And at some point, when you build your story enough, and there's always levels and stages in life. So there's always the next stage and the next level and the next stage and the next level, you know. But your story and the relationships you have will get you access to places, and you won't have to pay for things that you used to pay for or you used to think you should pay for. So when you think of achieving your dream and how much it costs, one, it's going to cost you more than what you think it's going to cost you.
Mm.
It's just going to cost you more.
Yeah.
But secondly, it doesn't necessarily mean that all that cost is financial, right? Could be more energy.
Mm.
So don't we need to get away from just thinking money and kind of boxing ourselves based on money, you know? And no, it's just, it really bugs me and frustrates me to see people who are not going for their dreams because of money. When it's like,
Mm.
that's not the only thing you can do. If you have it, great. If you don't, great. Keep going, you know? So yeah, man, I've had the opportunity, thankfully, to, meet some amazing people and to enter places where I'm not even supposed to be. Like, I've never had to pay to go to a careers event for
Mm.
aviation.
Mm.
But now I have a relationship with the Honorable Company of Air Pilots. I
Mm.
still don't have to pay for it. Do you know what I used to do back in the day? I figured I used to hate going because I was a dancer. I used to hate going to dance classes. I was like, I need to pay for the dance class. Da, 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 da. So do you know what I figured out?
Go on.
Let me just join dance groups
Oh.
and I'll get free classes.
Hmm.
So I was in lots of dance groups, D Youngers, Rebirth, Shoreditch Youth Dance. Um, what other one? I'm sure there's a few other ones. East London Dance Youth Company, like all of these, because I knew I'd get free classes. Why? Because I have a relationship with them. And as part of a company member, I get the class. So instead of paying, right, there's ways around it.
Hmm.
It didn't cost me
Yeah.
money. So yeah, I think that's the main thing that I want to, leave people with and remind myself. Because as I kind of strive to go to the next level, it can be very easy for me to like think, where am I going to get the money from? So it's a good
Yeah.
reminder even for me that it's like it's don't let money stop you.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, unless you on the top, I don't know, 100 richest people in the world or something, money is always gonna be an issue if you want it to be an issue. Because I don't know if you've seen um it was quite popular a few months ago, people asking random strangers on the street in London, in New York, for example, what are you doing for a living and how much are you making per year? And some people were just saying crazy figures. I don't know, 6, 9 figures a year, and they were still not satisfied, or they thought that it wasn't enough. So in a way, money is always going to be an issue. It doesn't matter um, how wealthy or poor you are at the end. If
True.
you wanted to see it that way.
Yeah.
So if you focus more on what you're capable and your enthusiasm, your energy, you would definitely go further than just on your financial part. And this is something you said, and I definitely agree.
Yeah. So what we need to stop doing now, is using money or the lack of money as an excuse,
Mm.
as a reason, but really it's an excuse. Like we need to catch ourselves going, oh yeah, but I can't really do that because I'm waiting for this perfect time in the future when I'm earning more. Bro, can I be honest with you? See,
Yes,
because
please.
because because we're honest here on like day one mentality, honest. I'll be honest with you. Bro,
Finally.
bro, I had debts when I couldn't fly, when I couldn't afford it. I got my license and still had debts.
Mm.
You would think I've got debts, I'll be clear of debts, then I can get my license.
Mm.
So let me wait to be clear of all debts. Once I'm clear of all debts and everything is perfect and I'm all good, then I can really go for the license.
Mm-hmm.
But no, that's not my story. Had
Mm-hmm.
debts, couldn't afford it, still went for it anyway. Got the license while still dealing with the debts. Like things don't always have to happen in the order that you think they do. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean? And if I had to go back, I'd do it the same way. So, like, what I'm saying is, like, put it this way. Let's make it more physical. I had a knee pain, so I thought, let me wait for the knee pain to stop, and then I'll go exercise.
Yeah.
It's like if you do that and you never deal with niggles and little like discomforts and just think, okay, I'll just adapt the way I exercise. If you just think, no, I'll just stop exercising, I'm not going to go for it in any way
Mm.
because, oh, I've got a knee pain. So that means exercise is stopped now. Once I feel fully perfect in my body, then I'll do exercise. When
Mm-hmm.
actually, you, as the steady athlete, can tell us that actually you're going to have to subject yourself to some pain in order to be 100%. You don't avoid the exercise. Despite the pain, you do the exercise. You might need to adapt it, but you still go for it.
Yeah.
So it's ridiculous to say, oh, I've got this pain here, so I'm not going to do anything
Mm-hmm.
until my body is 100% perfect. Then I'm going to, it's like life doesn't work like that, you know?
100%. And I do like the analogy you made because fully rest without not doing anything, that's that's just not good. The, the only time that you actually gonna rest 100% without doing nothing is when you sleeping maybe or when you dead.
Correct.
Like even with a physical injury, you still need to exercise.
Correct.
Not the same level, but you still need to exercise in order to improve your injury.
Correct. You adapt to whatever you expose yourself to. So if you're injured, yes, you might need to do it slightly differently. But if you keep yourself exercising, you're giving yourself to adapt to fitness. If you don't have the finances, but you're still trying to progress, you're giving yourself the opportunity to adapt to make progress.
Mm-hmm.
So that's important, you know? So again, I want to remind people out there and myself and you, Mr. Steady Athlete, no matter how big your goals are, no matter how challenging they seem to be,
Yeah.
go for it. Go for it, regardless of what's standing in your way, regardless of the walls that seem to be in front of you. Just go for it. And you know what? Life will be an adventure for you.
Mm.
because you don't have everything worked out, and you know you're going beyond your capability. You know you're going beyond what you can afford. Dream beyond your means. If you're not
Mm.
dreaming beyond your means, you're not dreaming at all. But if you dream beyond your means and go for it, your means will have to catch up to your dreams. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Day One Mentality Podcast, episode 17. Final words, Mr. Mo.
I would definitely think about what my story is currently, so right now, and what my story I want, what story I want to tell in the future.
That's great. That's powerful. All right, people, drop your thoughts in the comments. What did you think? Did you agree? Did you disagree? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Whatever it is, we want to know. Drop in the comments and we'll be happy to read, happy to respond. Or if you're out of line, we'll just ignore you and block you. Ah, joking. Right. Until next time, this is Future Pilot 901, Mr. D himself. That's me. Yes, I spoke about myself in third person, reminding you to live your dream.
And to enjoy the process.
Peace.